Hey there everyone, welcome to Trizity Traveling. I am your host John. Longtime viewers on my channel will know that I rarely have a bad flight. Well, today, unfortunately, I have a bad flight to share with you. But before we get to the bad flight, please take a second to click the subscribe button and hit that reminder bell to be notified of future content. If you like today's video, giving it a thumbs up really helps as well. I believe this is really mostly of my own doing. I don't really think the airline is to blame for my bad flight. I've found over the years that some airplanes are just hot and steamy. Could be the flight attendants don't turn the air down, could be that the plane's air conditioner doesn't work very well. Regardless, one of the best ways to mitigate that for me personally is to stay hydrated. Longtime viewers will know that I put stay hydrated on a lot of things. Well, today I think I violated my own rule, and you couple that with a hot airplane, and it turned out to be fairly miserable. I think you'll see that on today's flight, and let's get into today's trip story. Just arrived from Tampa and my son needs pizza. So we're heading over to the C concourse. Specifically, we need Pizza Hut pizza. Instead of walking between the concourses, we'll be taking the Skylink train. If you're not aware, the Skylink is the automated train that circles the entire Dallas-Fort Worth Airport.
Doors are closing. Please do not block the doors.
I believe you can walk from terminal to terminal, but it would be quite a long walk. If you have lots of time and need a long walk, then of course you could do it. Successfully found the Pizza Hut. Picked up a cheese pizza for the boy, and I'm hungry as well. Not a lot of gluten-free options over here by the Pizza Hut. Banana, Fritos, and a gluten-free pomegranate fig bar. I'd rather have the pizza. We're scheduled to leave from gate 821 at 7 p.m. Let's see how we did. Back on the Skylink, going from C to A. If you're wondering, you can ride the train clockwise or counterclockwise. And as we arrived at the gate, we were notified that our pilots were delayed. The aircraft was here, but the pilots were delayed by weather at another airport. Here's the gate agent announcement indicating we would be allowed to board once he knew the pilots were on the ground.
As soon as I know they get into the gate and I get that it says in, I will start the boarding process. I'm going to be running this one solo from this point, so I'm going to do whatever I can to help you guys out, give you updates as I get the information, I'm going to give you the information. So I do appreciate y'all's patience. Just sit back, relax, like I said. If you decide to go grab something to eat, drink, whatever, I will make announcements to the entire terminal, letting you know that we are starting the boarding process. Thank you.
The gate agent boarded in what he called a slow and leisurely process, group by group, with lots of space in between each group. Basically, give the passengers something to do while we waited for the pilots, I believe. I'm sitting in the first class cabin today, which allows me to board early. In retrospect, that turns out to be a mistake. One consequence of no pilots on the airplane is all the conditioned air is coming from the ramp. On this particular day in Texas, it was roughly 95 degrees outside, so the aircraft was fairly warm when we arrived. Frankly, never got any cooler, only warmer as the flight went on. So while we explore my favorite domestic first class seat on this old school American 737, the aircraft just gets warmer and warmer with each passenger boarding. And while I'm very excited to have a seatback screen, it just becomes hot and steamy and fairly miserable on this aircraft. One of my favorite features to play with is the moving map. American Airlines moving map is typically very responsive. Well, since the moving map was a bummer, let's see if we can find a movie to watch. As I've shown you in the past, plenty to watch. Also, TV shows are available. I didn't show it, but I ended up watching some of my favorite TV show, The Big Bang Theory. And I even considered pulling out that remote control and playing some of the games. In the end, I was just too hot and tired to really care. Just wanted to get home. One of those surprises I mentioned, another cheese and cracker snack box. And we were updated with an 8:10 departure time. Getting warmer. Last flight to get home. Here's the fast speed takeoff for you. If you want to watch the full takeoff and landing for this flight, you can check it out on my other YouTube channel, Trizity Loves Airplanes. There's a link at the end and a link in the description. Turning to the northwest now. Quick peek at downtown Dallas. Grapes were very refreshing on this hot flight. Looking at myself there, I looked kind of miserable. I am grateful for the small service that I did get, because these poor people in the back got nothing. And eventually the moving map did become functional. It too was probably waiting for the pilots to arrive. Trying to catch some sunset from the air, one of my favorite things. I think it's doubly hot when you're wearing a mask. I did do a speed check on this flight, close to 70 megabit download. With that in mind, I decided to fire up YouTube TV, and I actually watched a little Formula One while I was flying. Some mild chop. We were crossing between some pretty significant storms. All in all, a pretty quiet but uncomfortable flight. So as we approach Boise today, thumbs up go for the snack box, of course. Anytime you get something resembling a near normal service, I'm going to give that a thumbs up. The thumbs down is equally easy. Hot, stuffy, overheated passenger, at least myself, on this particular flight. I found some planes are just hot. As we arrive in Boise, some social distancing announcement from the flight attendant.
Once we are parked at the gate tonight and the seatbelt sign is off, we do ask that you remain seated until the row in front of you clears out. We are going to deplane a row at a time to help cut down on some of the congestion in the aisle. So again, we do ask that you remain seated until the row in front of you empties out, then you can get up, retrieve your items, and come forward. As a reminder, your mask must be worn during the deplaning process. And for those who are unaware, masks are required in the terminal here in Boise.
I hope you enjoyed my time in the hotbox more than I did. If you have any questions or comments about flying with American Airlines, flying during the COVID era, or travel in general, please post them below. I'll be happy to respond to those. And as always, wishing you and yours safe and happy travels.